Visual and spatial representations of selected indigenous African spiritual rituals for knowledge preservation and design practice. By Puleng Tlhophane. Intimacy. Intimacy was explored relative to candlelight in dark spaces. Candlelight illuminates the immediate vicinity, creating an illusion of an intimate space as far as the eye can see. Amongst some of the interesting observations made during the study was how a small gust of wind over the candle flame can make it seem like inanimate objects within the space are moving as the candle flame dances. Vulnerability. In this instance, vulnerability is explored in relation to attending or partaking in a consultation by a spiritual healer. And since the researcher had no prior knowledge or basis to compare the experience to, one was left feeling exposed and feeling out of touch and overwhelmed by the overall experience. Ego. For this observational experience, the elder of the family is leading us through a Thanksgiving ceremony and introducing the young children to the ancestors officially. To express gratitude for the favor that has been bestowed upon the family and to ask that the ancestors be with us and to mitigate where there might be conflict between family members so that as conflict is resolved, the death of the ego can commence. Threshold. Fear. These are both observed at a graduation ceremony for initiates. This ceremony embodied all the other elements that have been previously discussed: intimacy, vulnerability, ego, as well as fear and threshold. The experience was a thorough assault of the senses. The drums were loud, the people were crowded, it was raining, and it happened over the course of 3 days, from Friday up until Sunday. I was only able to observe Friday and Saturday, where upon arrival on one of the days, I was met by one of the initiates running past me so fast, but on their face, they looked dazed. Only to be told that they're in a trance and they have gone to look for their animal, which was purposely hidden by their family members without their knowledge, and that they had to rely on communication with their ancestors to locate this particular animal. This lady in particular that had just run past me was very small in stature, but within the minute of running past me, she was walking back, dragging the animal by the horns that she had located. And as she approaches us, she felt bigger than what she actually was. There was an aura about her that I just cannot explain, much like I cannot explain the experience that I was fortunate to have been a part of over the course of those 2 days. A lot of what was happening, I felt reluctant to document image-wise or video-wise, because it felt like an intrusion of sorts. It felt like this was a sacred thing that was happening and that only those in attendance have the pleasure of experiencing it firsthand. Once all the initiates had gone out looking for their animal and had located it, they each had to be reintroduced officially as individuals who embody an ancestor, and had to do it in trance, where the tutor had to speak or converse with the ancestor that resides within these initiates. And this all happened by the yard entrance. To conclude the ceremony, the healer who had led the initiates through the process of Utwasa performed a series of trance dances accompanied with trance speaking, which carried on for more than an hour of her just conversing and dancing in trance. By the end of the performance, she had been totally overcome by the spirit animal of the ancestor that she embodies, which is a lion, and would eventually crawl all the way to her indumba, mimicking the movements of a lion and sniffing and snarling at the audience whose aura was inviting for the animal that she embodied.
Ke setlogolwana sa ga Thibedi Sentho le Mmalehabe tekudi wa bontja le matebejana wa ga Matlala le Mana Makgomo phuthane dinamane sekokoma di se fetile sebata se fetile se le merwalo nna morwa Tlhophane ka tswa ka latela marena mpone ke a go rapela nna ka go se ka wa menagano ya melala o disa dikgomo tsa nka tsweng le masogwana ba re motho o sa bopegang ga ratiwi go ratiwa wa mehutana.
Izithakazelo zakwaDlodlo. Dlodlo, Mbanja simakotha siwadabula. Mpangazitha, Khalomhle, Khalompofu, Ntika Bangela, Qhubokela Qhwala. Iqhwala lakhe lidolo. Owasika umuntu ngomkhonto, owabhodla igazi achitheka amadoda. Insondo ziluthile. Abadla isichaba sisingi besephulelana. Abadla imfezi imbili kwaphuma igazi lilinye sankunya zikaMdladlana Lungisa Mbanga Mawandla
Kabu, kabu, kabu.